So, before bed last night, I asked God for a rapture dream, and I forgot until like this morning that I told him I would make a video or share it with as many people as possible. So, that's what I'm doing. I wrote down the dream. I woke up last night from the dream. It was actually very disturbing. It just bothered. It was like a nightmare. And I don't really have nightmares because I don't really fear much besides the Lord. But it woke me up and I was very bothered by it. Anyway, I dreamt that I woke up from a dream and I told the father of my children that God gave me a dream that the whole East Coast was about to crumble into the ocean and that we had to leave now. The father of my children then asked what time we had to leave. Excuse me. I said around 10 a.m. I quickly packed a couple of suitcases and put them in our minivan. I could see the neighbors, and they were all planning to flee as well. I knew if everyone tried to leave at once, we would get stuck, so I said, come on, we have to go now. So we packed up the kids and left. We were planning to drive to Texas or Idaho, somewhere just far away from the East Coast. I was then taken over the USA, and I saw a map of the whole country. The entire East Coast was underwater with little islands of land. That's all that was left. It was covered in water, just little islands of land. I remembered I had a friend in Texas, and I commented I had to tell him about the rapture. Now, this friend, he's a complete unbeliever, but I just still wanted to tell him. Then the dream flashed scenes, and I was at a train station, and people were leaving on the trains, and me and my kids were getting food and drinks for the journey. At first, I was going to grab a small chocolate muffin, but then I saw there was a big blueberry muffin. I decided to get that instead. I don't know how significant that is, but I just want to say everything that was in the dream. The shop owner then randomly told the children they could get the Hugs juices half off for 50 cents. When we were done shopping, I then went to the counter to pay for the food, and I asked him how much it came to. He said $32. I was shocked it was so expensive, and I asked him about it. Then the Holy Spirit took over him, and he said, no, you're right. It's all about God. It's all about God. The price is $40. Now, we all know 40 is very significant. Jesus was in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, and there's so much that goes into that number. I paid, and I walked over to picnic tables. They were filled with people just eating food, getting ready to go on a journey. And I had the urge to tell them that Jesus was coming, but I was a little hesitant. And then suddenly I was like, I can't be hesitant. This is it. I have to tell them. So I yelled, Jesus is coming. I think I said it like two or three times, but I yelled it, and there was such power behind it. But no one was really listening to me. So my children and I, we left our luggage. We left the luggage and the car behind, everything we packed, and we just started walking on a journey, and the whole world was like in disarray. Like, I don't know if like a bomb hit or anything, buildings were crushed down, but people were still like in their working uniforms and just kind of walking around aimlessly in alleyways and just like nothing. And then my son, he got stuck on a railroad track. And my son, he was crying, and he does this in real life too. Like, he's a little attention seeker. So, like, he'll make something little into something huge. So we were just, like, waiting for him to resolve the issue on his own, which we did. And then I realized we left our daughter behind. Our daughter's name is Eden. Her name is Eden Rose. We left her behind, and I started freaking out. Like, we have to go back to get Eden. We have to go get her. So we went back to the train station where we had come from, and there was a woman holding Eden. I'm like, that's my daughter. Give her to me. And she's like, no, this isn't your daughter. What's her pediatrician's name? So I told her the pediatrician's name and gave her the phone number. And she started calling the pediatrician. And this woman was acting very weird, very demonic. There's something off about her. So I went to go tell my children's father that I couldn't get the baby back. She wouldn't give her back. So I went back, and I saw that the woman was on the phone, and she was beating my baby over the head with a hammer. And my baby was dead. So I then took the hammer, and I started beating her over the head, and I killed the woman, and I took my baby. And her father and I, we put our hands over her, and we prayed, and she was healed. and like her wound healed on her head and everything, and she was completely healed. And then my baby turned into a doll, and she ended up being my cousin's child, and my cousin's child's father was there. And in the baby's ear was like this pink goo. Now, what I think that represents is, my daughter's name is Eden. Like, when we get raptured up, Eden was on earth in the beginning. When we get raptured up, the earth is going to be destroyed. People are not going to listen to sound doctrine. They're not going to listen to the gospel. And, sorry, I'm like just getting into what the dream was. But they're not going to listen to sound doctrine. But when we come back after the rapture, we are going to destroy the wicked with Jesus. And he'll heal the land. He'll heal the land when we come back for the 1,000-year millennial reign with him. I don't know if I explained the dream right, but it was just something I had to get out there because it was so unsettling. And as I woke up, the Holy Spirit revealed to me how prophetic this dream actually was.